Take a deep breath. As you clicked on this video, the universe already knew your name. Everything happening now is no accident. I carefully arranged every detail to bring you here because there's something meant to be released over you. I saw your hidden tiredness, the silent prayers you whispered, the moments you believed without seeing change. Every breath you've taken has been noticed, and not a single tear was wasted. Today, I call your name, and when I call, everything that belongs to you begins to move. As you hear my voice, a shift occurs in the unseen. Your name has been written in my book of justice, and I've commanded the angels to bring back what seemed lost. What time took away, I'll restore. What doubt broke, I'll heal. The doors that were closed, I will open with unstoppable power. Can you feel that warmth in your chest? It's the sign of my presence touching your soul, showing you that you're never alone. You were chosen to receive something that many wanted, but few were ready for. What brought you here wasn't just curiosity, but a greater purpose. It wasn't chance, it was destiny. Your story was written in my book long before you even started walking. When you thought I was silent, I was simply getting you ready to hear my voice, free from fear and distractions. I didn't choose you because you were perfect, but because your heart still believes, even when hurt. Your mistakes didn't push me away. They only showed how deeply I love you. Today, I say, what you thought was forgotten is being brought to life again. The angels are at work. The spiritual atmosphere is shifting, and a new chapter is beginning for you. I invite you to align with what has already been promised to you. Now you can feel the relief. I turn despair into direction, tears into hope, and loss into a story of strength. It was me who held you when you couldn't pray anymore. It was me who comforted you when everything fell apart. And it quietly reminded you that there was still hope ahead. You were seen, remembered, and called. I haven't forgotten you. This is the time to respond, not with fear, but with faith. What begins right now is a shift of purpose, honor, and healing. Your faith is the key that unlocks everything I've prepared. You can feel the change in the air. It's as if the sky is breathing with you. The very breath I gave at the beginning of time now flowing over your life. Nothing can stop what I've set in motion. No opposing voice, no past memories, no human limits. When I move, nothing can stand in the way. This is the moment where what's unseen starts to come to life. Your name is surrounded by blessings, remembered in places you've never been, spoken in rooms where you're not present. What was once closed is now opening. Just believe. Faith is not a feeling. It's a spiritual sign. When you believe, I see your trust and make ways where there were none. My power shines when your heart surrenders to me. Do not fear what's ahead, for what's coming is from me. Comment now, I believe, and confirm what heaven has already begun in your life. By saying this, the atmosphere shifts because your words become a testimony before my angels. I accept your faith and declare, what started today will soon be visible. Take another breath, for this is just the beginning of a new chapter. As you listen, something amazing is happening around you. The heavens are still working, even when you don't see it. I'm not just speaking to you, but through you, because what I'm doing in your life is so deep, it can't stay with you alone. Every seed I plant in you will grow and touch others. There are people you'll meet who will feel my presence because of the light I'm bringing to you today. Nothing that has happened to you was by accident. Even your pain will become a bridge that I will use to reach those who are facing what you have already conquered. Everything that hurt you Everything they tried to erase, I now turn into a tool for healing. You are living proof that what seemed like the end is only the start of my plan. That's why when I lift you up, it's not just to heal you, but to make you a source of healing for others. When I give you strength, it's so your strength can become a refuge for those around you. You are part of a growing heavenly movement. What began as something personal is now turning into a divine force that will touch many hearts. By speaking, I activate distant people, waken families, and bring life back to hopes that have been asleep. Your obedience will be the bridge between heaven and many who are crying out for a sign. Every act of faith you take multiplies in my records and opens hidden paths of restoration. Don't underestimate the power of what I've placed in your hands. One word from you, a simple gesture, can change someone's life. When I called you, it wasn't for you to just watch, but to be part of my purpose. Love I pour over you must keep flowing, because if you try to hold it in, it loses its power. I chose you to carry this light, and it's strong enough to cross borders, heal wounds, and revive what was once dead. Now, I breathe a new sensitivity into your spirit. Listen closely to what I'm saying. Many around you are silent on the outside but are crying on the inside, and I am sending this to you as an answer to those unspoken prayers. What I am activating in you is a compassion that moves the impossible. There will be people who think of you without knowing why, but it will be my presence reaching them through your name. So, don't let this message stop with you. There is a spiritual flow that needs to keep moving. What you are receiving now is not just comfort, it is a mission. That warmth you feel in your chest is the confirmation of the calling. The same power reaching you now will also reach someone you can't even imagine. I trust you with this message because I trust your heart. You are an extension of my love, a reflection of my faithfulness, and a living example of my promise. Do not think of yourself as small or incapable. The power does not lie in your own strength, but in my anointing over you. Everything I do through you is perfect because it comes from the perfect source. Where there is resistance, I will make a way. Where there is fear, I will fill you with courage. Where there is silence, I will make hope echo. Say alert to my voice. I will guide you to the right people, and when you reach them, you will need to speak prepared words because your presence will carry my peace. What you are receiving now is an anointing of growth. Not just for your home, but for everyone who comes in contact with what I have entrusted to you. Share this message with anyone who needs a sign from heaven today. Every time you obey, my spirit moves with greater strength. Every time you let others feel what you feel, my purpose grows. You were called, yes, but you were also sent. There is no boundary that can stop the reach of a heart that responds to my call. What I start in you, I spread to the world, and your name will be a reminder of faith for many who will believe again. Your calling doesn't end here. It has only just begun. The transfer has started as you listen, and a real movement is happening in the unseen. Everything I have prepared is being released now in your name. The spiritual declarations have been made, the barriers are gone, and what was once held back is now a step forward. What was closed behind human doors is now opening by my divine will. I didn't bring you here to promise you something far away, but to show you something that is already here. The change isn't coming. It has already started. Your name is written in the books of abundance, surrounded by my light. I see it shining among many as a sign of the fulfillment I've promised. Nothing will stop what I've planned for you. Everything that seemed impossible is now being arranged, like pieces fitting perfectly under my hands. People will begin to remember you without knowing why. Places that once turned you away will now feel peace when they hear your name. It is my favor showing up, creating space where there was once none for you. You asked for confirmation, and here it is. This is the sign you quietly sought. The presence you feel right now is proof that the decree has been made. There is a gentle warmth in your chest, a calmness spreading over the air. It's the confirmation that the spiritual realm is now touching the physical world. Heaven answers with perfect timing, and nothing can undo what has already been secured. The waiting is over. The time for things to show up has begun. You don't need to prove to anyone what I'm doing. Your life will be the proof. Those who once doubted will witness what happens when someone stays faithful, even when times are tough. I honor you before those who rejected you, not for revenge, but to show that faithfulness always brings fruit. What's coming now is not the result of human effort, but of obedience and trust. Now, I ask only one thing of you: stay. Stay in faith, stay present, stay open to listening. Do not pull away from the place where I meet you, because there are still things I want to reveal to you. Consistency is the path through which the divine flow keeps moving. Every time you draw near, I increase what you receive. You are not a visitor in this journey. You are its heir. The blessings I've released in your name are not just material but spiritual too. I give you clarity, peace, and understanding. I give you the power to speak words that will shift the atmosphere. The gifts within you that were once dormant are now being awakened. Your voice will find its strength again, and your touch will bring healing. Your words won't be ordinary. They will carry the voice of heaven. Everything you've experienced up until now will start to show itself in stages. Each day will bring small signs, and each one will remind you that I'm moving forward with you. I will never leave you halfway. I walk alongside you. I adjust the ground you walk on, and I open the doors at the perfect time. And when it feels like nothing is changing, remember, the sign has already been made, and heaven does not turn back. What you feel now is just the first wave of a river that will never stop flowing. It will flow through your home, your family, and your projects. It's the proof that everything you've been through has led you to this exact moment, the moment where I have chosen to act. Breathe deeply. The air you are breathing now is new. The atmosphere of your life has shifted, and you have been repositioned. Click like and subscribe to this channel as an act of faith and to stay under my guidance. By doing this, your actions become your testimony. It is the seal that heaven recognizes, the visible response of one who has received and chosen to stay. I tell you now, you will never return to where you were before. What began today cannot be undone. The transfer has been confirmed. The decree is in place, and your name has been called in glory. What I have started in you will be made visible to many, and what seems small now will grow until everyone sees that you were chosen by me. The decree is already moving. What was once written in the unseen now begins to take shape in time. I have set the gears of my purpose in motion for your benefit, and nothing can stop them. There is a new sound in the spiritual realm, the sound of obedience, being rewarded, the sound of the harvest growing from the ground you've planted with your tears. Even though you may not see it yet, it's already happening. What I promised you is not on pause, it is in motion. I move people, places, and decisions to make everything unfold exactly as I've planned. Nothing I've prepared for you has been lost. While you doubted, I was still working. While you cried, I was still building. And while you remained silent, I was writing the next chapters of your story. I am a God of processes, and every step has purpose. Your patience was not overlooked. It was the seed that activated the stage that is now beginning. My angels are at work. They move quietly, opening doors, overcoming obstacles, and leading hearts toward you. Your name is being honored in heaven, repeated with great respect. A powerful glory now covers everything you carry in your heart. What once felt too heavy now feels lighter. What seemed blocked begins to open up. I'm reorganizing everything that has been out of place. Do not try to figure out every detail. Just trust. There are things I don't show you to protect you from worry. What I need from you is peace, not doubts. The decree is already in motion, and the movement has begun. Everything that has hurt you is now part of the path that leads you to your destiny. Even your mistakes are redeemed, and even delays are turned into precise moments. There is a gap between what is promised and what happens, and it is during that time that I am building your strength. I cannot make bigger promises if you still fear losing the small things. So while you wait, I shape you. While the miracle approaches, I help you grow. While the decree moves forward, I prepare you to carry it. You are not waiting in vain. I am preparing you so that you can fully receive what is to come. Feel how the atmosphere around you changes. There is a lightness now that wasn't there before, a peace that fills you from within. This is the sign of fulfillment. It's heaven whispering to you that what started in mystery will soon turn into a testimony. You are not alone in this process. My spirit is walking with you, guiding your steps to the rhythm of what is already unfolding. I have already given the command to move forward. The right doors will open at the right time, and no force can shut them. The wrong people will leave on their own because the decree I've made in your name is also clearing away what doesn't belong in your new season. Don't fear these departures. They are like pruning, making room for growth. Do not grieve what is leaving. Grieve only if you try to hold on to what I've already planned to remove. What seems still is now in motion. What seemed empty is being filled. The promise is not far off. It's simply moving through time to reach you, and when it arrives, it will be so perfect that you will understand why it didn't come sooner. I was never delayed. I was simply waiting for the right moment when you could receive what I have for you without losing it. Be still, for the noise of doubt blocks the sound of the miracle. Learn to rest. For those who trust in me, do not worry. The decree is already in motion, and everything that needs to happen has been set in motion. Now is the time to believe in silence, to watch as the unseen begins to shape the scene, knowing with certainty that no promise I've made will ever be unfulfilled. I go before you, and what has started in your favor will soon be visible at the right time. Stay alert, for soon you will see signs so clear that your heart will have no doubt. What I have released is permanent. What I have set in motion cannot be stopped, and what is now unfolding will be remembered as the moment when heaven's decree descended and began to unfold on earth. The records have been opened. The sound you hear is the turning of pages in the books of heaven. Every word I promised you was written, waiting for the perfect time to be revealed. A time has come. Your name shines among the promises I've made, surrounded by light and marked with honor. Today, the limitations that once held you back are erased, and new decrees are written in the ink of eternity. I do not just speak, I act, and everything I do is perfect. My angels rise to fulfill what has already been decided. They carry precise instructions, knowing every detail of your story and every desire of your heart. They go into places you cannot reach, connect with people you cannot, and remove obstacles you didn't even know were there. A powerful spiritual movement surrounds your name. What was held back begins to flow, and what has been blocked for too long is dissolved at my command. Your past no longer holds power over your future. The emotional and spiritual debts that once bound you are now settled. The pain you once carried, now just a memory, stands as proof of your victory. I erase every accusation against you and mark you with a new seal, the seal of grace, freedom, and abundance. When I open my books, no voice can argue against it. The enemy tried to keep you trapped in an old chapter, but I am writing it with a new conclusion. You feel that gentle coolness. That peace surrounding you is the sign that the record is being opened. It is the heavenly atmosphere coming down into the time of man. Every tear you've cried is turned into a line of redemption in my pages. I transform your wounds into declarations of triumph. What seemed forgotten was simply kept for the right time, and that time is now. Today my court rises in your favor. I review past cases, correct wrongs, restore what was lost, and return what was taken. Nothing that the enemy has touched can stand against me. My judgment is just, and my sentence is full of mercy. I do not call you to remind you of your faults, but to show you that they have already been forgiven, purified, and resolved. The guilt that once tormented you no longer has power over you. When I open a new record, I don't just declare freedom, I also deliver your destiny. What I activate today is not just for your relief, but for your repositioning. Your name returns to the center of the path I have designed for you. Everything that had gone off course is now returning to balance. Every person, every opportunity, every response, all things are starting to align again. Nothing is ever lost when it's in my hands. Now, as you listen, the angels descend holding keys. These keys unlock access you didn't have before. They open spiritual doors, new relationships, financial opportunities, and dreams that seemed lifeless. This is not fantasy. It is reality. You have undergone a spiritual change, and heaven now recognizes who you have become. When I release my records, both heaven and earth tremble. The words I speak will never return void. They journey far, break chains, and create new realities. Today I declare that the records of your life have been updated, and your name is now written among those who will prosper, among those who will be lifted up, among those who will witness the impossible become real. Write the number 777 in the comments now to confirm that you are aligned with the decree heaven has just issued. This action is the seal of your faith, the spiritual signature of one who knows that what was once a promise has now become a powerful decree. What has been opened will never again be closed. I have signed it, I have released it, and I have confirmed it. The decree is set in motion, and your name is surrounded by light. Everything that once held you back has been shattered, and what has now begun to move will not stop until you see the results with your own eyes. What was released in the unseen world is now making its way into the physical world. Every word I speak brings sound and action. Fulfillment is not a single moment, but a process that echoes throughout your entire life. When I declare something, the universe obeys. Now, everything around you begins to fall into place with what I have determined. People will be moved, situations will shift, paths will open. None of this happens by accident. It is the result of what has already been decided in heaven. You can feel the shift in the air. There is lightness where there was once burden, hope where there was once fear. This is the sign that fulfillment is already on its way. My spirit breathed life into what once seemed dead, and what was stagnant now begins to stir. What once seemed impossible is now being prepared to appear before you. Though it may appear small at first, it is real. What begins as a distant sound will soon become a visible reality. People will start remembering you without knowing why. Unexpected opportunities will come your way. Doors that were once shut for years will now open effortlessly. All of this happens because heaven has already set it in motion. I move hearts, open doors, and break barriers. What once overlooked you now seeks you out. It is divine grace showing up as a result of your faithfulness. Every detail of your journey is being carefully managed by my hands. Don't worry about how fast things are moving. Just focus on flowing with life. The echo of fulfillment has its own pace and never delays. I did not make you a promise to cause you frustration, but to strengthen your trust in me. What is coming now is the result of everything you've lived up to this point. The tears you've shed were the price, obedience was the path, and now the harvest is certain. Nothing sown in my name will fail to bear fruit. As fulfillment draws near, learn to spot the signs. At first, they may not be obvious, but they are constant. A peace that arrives without explanation, a sudden feeling of relief, an unexpected encounter, these are all signs of what has already been set in motion. Fulfillment is subtle at the start because I want you to recognize it not with your eyes, but with your heart. What comes from me brings calm, not confusion, certainty, not doubt. I do not fail in my promises. Your role is to remain open, without letting anxiety rob you of the joy in seeing this unfold. Rushing the fulfillment is missing the miracle. Trust in my timing, for it is the only one that will not fail. With every breath, I move forward in fulfilling what I promised you. Nothing stands still. The echo of heaven will continue until everything is completed. Remember, what I do in you is not just for you. The blessing you receive has a purpose. It is a seed for others. So, fulfillment doesn't end when you receive it. It multiplies when you share it. There are lives that will be changed because I chose you as an instrument. You are a bridge, not the final destination. And it's through you that others will see that there is still hope. Share this message with someone who needs to feel the same fulfillment in their life. Each time you do, you amplify the sound of what has already begun. Your obedience becomes the tool to spread my work. This is the moment when the promise you've waited for comes to life. Nothing can stand in its way because the decree has been sealed, the records have been set, and the echo of fulfillment already lives within you. What started as a promise has now become your testimony, and what you hear deep inside you is the voice of heaven saying, "It is done. The waiting is over. I, the Lord, now shift the seasons in your favor." What seemed like silence was simply the sound of preparation. And now, the time has come when the promise becomes your reality. The tears you've shed have turned into seeds, and now they blossom before me in victory. I saw every sacrifice, every moment you stayed strong, even without understanding why. Now heaven responds to your faithfulness. This is your moment of change. The gears that have been stuck begin to move again. Closed doors open easily. What once resisted you now gives way. My voice comes over you with authority. Move forward, for the waiting is over. I release you from the feeling of being stuck. What held you back is gone. What slowed you down has lost its power. I open new paths, new connections, and new opportunities for you. Everything will be different from now on. Do not look back in fear of losing what has already passed. What has gone fulfilled the purpose I gave it. Now is the time for you to grow. Your faith has matured, and now I can trust you more. The turning point surrounds you, but it also lives within you. Your mind aligns with my thoughts. Your heart beats in sync with my rhythm. You are no longer the same, and because of that, what's ahead will not be the same either. The time has come to witness what once seemed impossible. I place before you opportunities that defy human logic, doors that no human strength could open. I move people and structures to put you exactly where you need to be. Everything that once seemed blocked now responds to my command. I declare movement, and the movement begins. I declare life, and what was once dead now comes to life. Many will look at you and wonder how everything changed so quickly. But you will know that it wasn't sudden. It happened at the perfect time. Your journey was the key that opened this new chapter. Your patience was the fertile ground where the miracle began to grow. What others may call luck, I call harvest. What they see as coincidence, I call fulfillment. You simply waited for the right moment when the unseen would become visible. The prophetic turning point is not just a change of scene. It is the manifestation of my word. Where there was discouragement, strength rises. Where there was fear, courage appears. Where there was lack, abundance emerges. Everything shifts because I decided it was time to change. My breath of life touches what was dormant and awakens gifts, dreams, and promises. Your name regains its strength and beauty, not by your own doing, but by my grace. Now you step onto new ground. The old struggles no longer have power, and what once held you back has lost its hold. The heavens open above you. The wind of my presence lifts you from the old patterns and sets you in the flow of the new. This is a time of acceleration, where what should take years will happen in days because the purpose is ready. You are entering a season where I will give you what you asked for, and I will also give you the things you forgot to ask for, because I know the desires of your heart. Your harvest will be more than just material things, it will also be emotional and spiritual.